What if I told you that the greatest conqueror in human history, Genghis Khan, was once a starving boy with no home, no army, and no future? His is the unbelievable rise of the man the world would one day fear, but who began life as Temujin, a helpless child abandoned on the cold Mongolian steppe. This is how a nobody became an emperor. Temujin was born around 1162 in the vast and unforgiving grasslands of Mongolia, a land where winters cut like knives, where food was scarce, and where every tribe fought for survival. Life was brutal. The wind howled across endless plains, the snow blinded even the strongest eyes, and every day brought new dangers, from wild animals to rival tribes. But in this harsh and merciless world, a legend was quietly taking shape. His father, Yesugei, was a respected leader known for his bravery and wisdom, but when Temujin was only 9 years old, tragedy struck. His father was poisoned by a rival clan, and in an instant everything changed. The tribe that once served Yesugei abandoned Temujin's family without hesitation. No protection, no shelter, nothing. A child who would one day rule half the world was now struggling just to stay alive. Temujin's family survived on whatever they could find, scavenging wild berries, roots, and catching tiny animals in crude traps, often going to sleep hungry, wondering if they would survive the next sunrise. And yet instead of breaking him, every hardship forged an unbreakable determination, and every night under the freezing stars strengthened his resolve. The steppe was not done testing him, and fate was merciless, for one day a rival clan captured him and forced a heavy wooden collar around his neck, marking him as a slave. He was humiliated, watched constantly, beaten, and kept like an animal, chained in the cold, and for most people that would have been the end, but not for Temujin. Even in chains, he refused to surrender. He waited, he watched, he planned, and one night he seized his chance. With guards distracted, he escaped into the freezing darkness, crawling through riverbeds, hiding behind rocks and tall grass, disappearing into the endless night where every shadow could hide a threat. And that escape wasn't just freedom. It was the moment destiny awakened inside him, and the first spark of a future emperor ignited. After gaining his freedom, Temujin began gathering followers, and he did something revolutionary, something no other Mongol leader dared to do. He chose men based on loyalty, not bloodline, on skill, not noble birth, and this was unheard of in a world ruled by aristocratic clans. He welcomed commoners, hunters, blacksmiths, simple warriors, and treated them with respect. They loved him, they trusted him, they followed him, and the small group of determined men grew into a loyal force that would change the fate of nations. But one man hated this rise, his own childhood blood brother, Jamukha, who believed only nobles should rule the Mongols. And when Temujin challenged that notion, their brotherhood shattered, and Mongolia was plunged into a war for its very soul, with Jamukha striking first, capturing Temujin's followers, torturing them brutally to send a message that only the privileged could command. Yet Temujin did not break. He returned stronger, gathering more tribes who believed in his vision and wanted change. And soon the steppe thundered with battles, camps burned, warriors clashed, and Temujin rose. Higher with every victory, his name spreading across the plains as a symbol of courage, strategy, and relentless determination. He inspired loyalty through example, shared hardships with his men, fought alongside them in bitter cold and blazing heat, and every victory attracted new followers, more tribes joining him as his reputation grew. Until finally, in 1206, the Mongol tribes gathered for a great council, chiefs from all across the steppe, standing together to witness history. And on that historic day, they raised Temujin upon a throne of felt and gave him a new name, Genghis Khan, the universal ruler, a boy who once wore a slave's collar, now ruling the entire Mongol world. As Khan, he transformed scattered tribes into the most powerful army the world had ever seen, creating the Yasa, strict laws that protected the weak, punished injustice, and brought order to the steppe, building a vast postal network across thousands of miles, training soldiers to ride multiple horses, move with lightning speed, and fire deadly composite bombs that could pierce armor from incredible distances, using brilliant tactics like the famous fake retreat to trick enemies into traps. And under Genghis Khan, the Mongols became unstoppable, fearless, unmatched. From the frozen rivers of Siberia to the deserts of China to the mountains of Persia, the name Genghis Khan echoed like thunder. But beyond all the battles, beyond all the conquests, his rise is what truly defines him. A boy abandoned by his own tribe, a child who slept hungry, a slave who escaped death, a man who built an empire from nothing. And his story proves that greatness is not gifted. It is forged through pain, fire, and unbreakable will. And this was the rise of Genghis Khan, the child who should have died on the steppe, but instead became a legend who changed the world forever.